Players didn't think a recent meeting produced enough progress with a late October deadline looming. Made a statement over the weekend in Indianapolis wearing these shirts. They read, "Pay us what you owe us."
Other players in this league, and I'm sure a lot more would have loved to be there if they were in Indianapolis, and I think that's the most powerful thing.
Picture this. You work for a company that's never made money in 28 years, just lost $40 million in its best year ever, and you show up to work wearing a shirt demanding more pay. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened at the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, and the internet collectively lost its mind.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it does sound kind of crazy.
You need to hear the full story because there's a plot twist involving Caitlin that's going to blow your mind. So in this video, I'm going to show you why this whole situation perfectly explains why the WNBA has zero business sense and how they're potentially fumbling away the biggest opportunity in sports history. So before we get to the content, my apologies, guys. I'm currently in Prague now, trying to get you guys the latest NBA news.
Damn.
So I apologize. Make sure you
all the way in Prague
and turn on our notifications because nothing's going to stop me from bringing you guys the latest news in basketball to your device. And now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro.
W flight mic.
A bit more of a comfy chair to sit in. We've been covering the pay issues in the WNBA for the past 3 years, and it's definitely an interesting situation. Prior to Caitlin Clark entering the WNBA, the major drama that was surrounding the WNBA was how much these players...
I ain't even gonna lie, chat. I might order me a Caitlin Clark jersey, bro. Like me, I might order one for me, and then I'll probably order one for my girl, too. I fuck with Caitlin Clark.
For getting paid, and the fact that the product just wasn't really that entertaining. Take this podcast clip from one of the WNBA's biggest stars, Kelsey Plum, just 2 years ago in regards to how she feels like the players in the WNBA should get paid.
In the NBA, they have percentages of revenue shared for the players. You know, if the owners are making
I remember
money,
this
they
clip.
get that as well. In the WNBA, that's not the case. We are not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it. So that's a huge misconception.
That's a huge misconception.
Got it. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah,
And this is bizarre considering the fact that the WNBA has always been subsidized by the NBA, and the WNBA's biggest issue was the fact that the product was not that entertaining, which has resulted
Isn't there like a, I'm not even a huge business type person, but isn't there like a ratio or of some sort where like if you make a certain amount, you can pay like your employers a certain amount? So like if the WNBA isn't making that much money, you can't ask for the same percentage because they're not making as much money as the NBA. Obviously NBA can give out more because NBA makes way more fucking than the WNBA. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers don't even know that this shit is an actual business, my nigga. Sorry. But yeah, bro, we gotta start thinking more business wise though. Can't just be like, oh, give me fucking money. Like, no, bro, you gotta think this is an actual...
Very interesting theories as to how to improve the product, such as when Shaq suggested this to one of the WNBA's biggest stars.
I think if we just lower the rim so y'all can dunk like we dunk, that'll give y'all more oomph than you already have.
No.
I don't see a lot of people going up with two hands.
Oh, it's coming. My next child will be drop step dunking, I promise. I'm still giving.
And it wasn't just Shaq that recommended lowering the rim, but also Tracy McGrady.
You know, I've been playing basketball on a 10-foot hoop my whole life. So to move it to 9.5, it's gonna take a long time to get used to that. And then also, like, we're only playing basketball to dunk? Like, I'm not sure.
No, you playing...
Like, you just want to see me dunk on somebody? Like, I don't know.
Eventually, the WNBA...
Hell yeah, bro. You know how much more viewership... We would all love to sit down and watch a WNBA game and see girls getting yammed on, bro. That's exactly what we want, but... Also, man, wouldn't this shit just be easier? Wouldn't it be 10 times easier to adjust? I mean, for sure, it'd be an adjustment, but, like... You know what I'm saying? It'd be easier to shoot in the fucking hoop if it's lower.
Wow, Caitlin Clark has boosted ratings for the WNBA in a way that we could have never anticipated. And the way they decided to...
Nah, chat, I'm gonna get me a Caitlin Clark shirt, man. Fuck it.
The reason why we're bringing this up again is because on July 19th, 2025, something unprecedented happened at the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis. Every single player, and I mean every single one, showed up to warm-ups wearing identical black shirts with white letters spelling out, "Pay us what you owe us. This wasn't some spur of the moment thing either. These players had been planning this protest after what they called a wasted opportunity in CBA negotiations just 2 days earlier. And get this, the crowd of 16,000 fans started chanting, "Pay them so
pay us what you owe us." That is it's a heavy statement. Very strong statement.
Loud during the MVP ceremony that players actually got chills. Nafisa Collier, who won MVP that night.
Y'all peep that girl in the back, bro? Look at her. Pay the players. Nah, bro, that's crazy. They really going all out.
Actually got chills. Nafisa Collier, who won MVP that night and is also the union VP, explained their position.
We get a very tiny percentage of all the money that's made through the WNBA, which obviously is through our entertainment, the entertainment we provide. And so we want a fair and reasonable.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. They're asking for like that, but like, bro, the WNBA don't got all this fucking money to just give y'all a huge percentage, man. Are y'all not thinking about this? I can't be, and that's not even, you don't even gotta be a basic business person to fucking understand that concept. If you don't have a bunch of money to give out, you just don't have a bunch of money to give out. The WNBA doesn't have it like that, how the NBA has it, where like you can ask for their percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like a very simple concept to me. They're just kind of like, they're just letting it go over their heads and they're like, no, we want our money. We'll like give the W a couple years to grow, make some more money, and then that's a different conversation. But you can't do that shit right now, nigga. The W don't make no money right now. What the fuck? At least not NBA money. We all know that.
Percentage of that.
And here's where this gets interesting and why
like that's very simple.
Zero business sense involved. But first, let me show you the numbers that had social media absolutely roasting these players. The internet was brutal. One viral tweet did the math. The WNBA is negative $50 million this year. So 50 million divided by 153 players equals $326,797 per player. They need to pay what they owe. Another user said that being an employee at a company that's never turned a profit and showing up to work in these shirts. And that's not even an exaggeration. The WNBA,
that's what I'm saying, bro. This is insane. Y'all are asking a company to give you a percentage of money that they don't have. Well, they might have it, but bro, it takes money for them to build a company and keep these arenas and stadiums and uniforms and sponsorships. They need that money for themselves, for the league too. What the fuck? And they're negative right now, so this is even crazier. I didn't even know that. They called
their most successful season ever, and they still managed to lose $40 million. Think about that for a second. Record attendance, record viewership, record merchandise sales, and they still couldn't make money. Now here's the breakdown that'll make your head spin. The WNBA brought in $200 million in revenue, up from $102 million in 2019. Sounds great, right? Wrong. They somehow spent $240 million to generate that $200 million. Remember how I was consistently harping on the fact that having chartered flights didn't make sense for the WNBA? Yeah, this is where it comes back to bite them. But wait, it gets even worse. The league has been around for 28 years and has never, not once, turned a profit. Their total losses exceed $280 million. The NBA basically keeps them alive with a $15 million annual allowance for operations.
Who is like allowing these fucking decisions to happen, bro? Fuck the Jets. Fuck the private jets. Put them on a goddamn bus, on a goddamn charter bus. Save the league. Like, there should be somebody who kind of stands and like puts the hammer down and says, no, we can't fucking do this, bro. Is there, like, y'all got them flying private jets just because they want to, and because like the money's there? Where is the guy that stands in the middle and says, no, how about we just make more money first? Like, there's a ratio. This is insane.
And facilities. Plus, the NBA owns over 42% of the league. Now, let me be fair here. Before 2024, the WNBA genuinely wasn't popular enough to justify major pay raises. Just listen to this Shane Gillis joke at the ESPYs.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
The crowd fell for it because nobody knew any of the WNBA players.
Nah.
But here's where it gets interesting. Dave Portnoy, and trust me, he's not exactly a WNBA fan, made a crucial point about those financial numbers. The finances of the league are a mess, tied in with the NBA and purposely murky. The owners don't want to say how the league is doing because then you gotta pay more going into the bargaining agreement. And now these players want what exactly? Currently, WNBA players get 9.3% of league revenue. That's about $20 million split amongst all players. NBA players get 50% of their league's revenue. So the WNBA players want NBA money.
Goodness gracious. Good God almighty. Bro, we gotta run that back, man.
9.3% of league revenue. That's about $20 million split amongst all players. NBA players get 50% of their league's revenue. So the WNBA...
50%, bro. Goodness gracious. Them boys are living lavish. No, okay. I can kind of see a little bit where the WNBA players are like, all right, what the fuck's going on? 50% is a lot of fucking money, bro. Holy shit. I didn't know they were making that much more money. But in the end, bro, NBA is just like, the NBA has so much more money, bro. NBA has a rich history going back to the goddamn 60s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could name Hall of Fame legends all the way down to the fucking 60s and 70s. You can't really do that with the WNBA. You just can't.
NBA players want NBA money from a league that loses the NBA money.
50% is crazy, though.
Which is why fans have suggested that the
them boys are paid.
It's just a glorified tax write-off for the NBA. Now you might be thinking, Mike,
Maybe the players have a point about revenue sharing.
you know what? Maybe they do. But here's what really exposes their lack of business sense. And that's how they've treated the one person who's actually bringing in that revenue. And trust me, this story's going to make you question everything about how this league operates. Caitlin didn't just impact the WNBA in 2024. She basically saved it. The numbers are absolutely insane. Indiana Fever games with Clark averaged 1.18 million viewers. Every other WNBA game, 394,000 viewers.
Bro, I believe that shit too, bro. Because whenever I get home from work and I'm just flipping through damn channels just to see what's on, and then bam, oh, there's a WNBA game on. I see. Bro, if they don't say Indiana Fever on that shit, I'm not watching it, bro. I scroll right past it. Anytime it says Indiana Fever, I have to tap in and just check to see if Caitlin Clark is playing. And I'm sure thousands of people do the same thing, man.
Multiplier for one player. Get this, 19 Fever games topped 1 million viewers. Only 3 non-Clark games hit the mark all season. The Fever's total attendance was 643,000. 43, a 182% increase in the first team ever to exceed 300,000 home fans. Her jersey sales ranked number 2 in all of basketball. Not the WNBA, but all of basketball. Behind only Steph Curry and ahead of even LeBron James. The league made sure that 36 of 40 Fever games were nationally televised. More than some championship teams get. So you think that the league would protect their golden goose, right? You think they'd make sure she was treated well, marketed properly, and given every opportunity to succeed? Well, you'd be wrong, because what happened to Caitlin Clark in 2024 was a masterclass in how not to run a business. The treatment that Clark received from other players was straight up embarrassing for a professional league. On June 1st, 2024, Kennedy Carter hip-checked Clark.
Oh yeah, we all remember that.
Allegedly calling her an expletive first.
Bro, whatever happened to this girl right here? Does anybody know what happened to her? I have yet to see her in a WNBA game. I mean, maybe she plays for another team, but I have yet to see her in a highlight. I watch SportsCenter damn near every night too, and I have yet to see this girl. So
F's initially called it a common
I see hella Caitlin Clark though
foul for this play before upgrading it to a flagrant one later. Carter's response wasn't necessarily the greatest either.
After the Fever
I
score,
didn't no Caitlin Clark questions.
did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough. We're good. She's good.
Angel Reese was literally caught on camera celebrating from the bench when Clark got knocked down. But that was just the beginning. Marina Mabrey shoved Clark to the ground in another game, and that got upgraded to a flagrant 2.
I remember this.
Poked Clark in the eye during the playoffs, giving her a black eye, and Clark averaged 4.2 fouls drawn per game, which is the top amongst rookies. And how did Clark respond? With pure class.
Yeah, I think everybody's physical with me. You know, they get away with things that, you know, probably other people don't get away with, and it's tough. But that's just the fact of the matter. Is like, this is a very physical game. You're gonna get pressure. That's just professional.
Bro, she's a dog, bro. I need to get a jersey.
The racial dynamics became impossible to ignore. Asia Wilson said Clark's popularity advantage was a matter of black and white. Pat McAfee sparked outrage by saying this about Caitlin Clark.
This rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white for the Indiana team, who is a superstar.
Clark addressed her privilege head-on in Time magazine, saying, as a white person, there is privilege. This league has been built on black players. She consistently called out racist fan behavior. People should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing, and it's not acceptable. So let me get this straight. The WNBA has one player who's single-handedly responsible for tripling viewership, breaking attendance records, and driving merchandise sales through the roof. And the league's response is to let other players treat her like a punching bag while demanding she apologize for her success. But here's the kicker that really shows you how backwards this whole thing is. Caitlin Clark was the #1 overall pick in the 2024 draft that saved the WNBA's 2024 season. She made $76,535 in her rookie year. Her 4-year contract is worth $338,000. Victor Wembanyama, on the other hand, the #1 overall pick from the very same draft for the NBA, made $12.1 million in his first year with a 4-year deal worth $55.2 million. Wemby earns 163 times more than Clark. The current WNBA salary structure is a joke. The minimum.
Oh shit! Wow. I mean, yeah, you can definitely see there's a huge differential, but I mean, we all know why. Like, the NBA just makes so much more money, but. Dude, that is drastic.
Worth $55.2 million. Wemby earns 163 times more than Clark. The current WNBA salary structure is a joke. The minimum is $66,079 for rookies. The average is $102,249, and the supermax is $249,244. The entire team's salary cap is $1.46 million. Less than what most NBA bench players make. But granted, the WNBA season is about 2.5 months. And this is why about 50% of WNBA players still play overseas despite the risk.
Nah, fam, bro. The team salary is literally one NBA fucking player. That is crazy,
Diana
bro.
Taurasi made $1 million in Russia, 14 times her WNBA salary. Brittany Griner earned $600,000 for a 4-month season in China. Players can make $175,000 to $600,000 plus overseas compared to their WNBA paychecks. Now you might be thinking, okay, Mike, the salaries are low, but maybe the players have a point about getting more money. And you know what? I actually agree with that. But here's where their business sense completely falls apart, and why this protest shows they have no idea how to actually get what they want. The current CBA expires on October 31st, 2025, and the players opted out back in October of 2024, literally right after the finals ended. They're seeking what they call a transformational change. Here's what they want: salary caps of $4 to $5 million per team and individual salaries up to $1 million. That would be roughly triple or quadruple their current levels. Now, to be fair to the players, this is the first time in the league's 28-year history that they've had real leverage in CBA negotiations.
Yeah, they do got some leverage.
Years, the league has dominated these.
I mean, dude, that motherfuckers want to get paid, but like, they do have leverage now with Caitlin Clark. But I don't know, maybe asking for a little bit less. I don't know. What do y'all think would be the solution here? Because them motherfuckers are asking for They're asking for a pretty big pay raise.
Negotiations. The league's popularity has skyrocketed. TV ratings have gone through the roof. Ticket sales have increased. Jersey sales have ballooned. The WNBA is objectively making more money than they did 5 or 6 years ago. The July 18th meeting in Indianapolis included all of the young stars. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Beckers, alongside the veterans. Breanna Stewart didn't hold back. It was a wasted opportunity. Based on their most recent proposal, we just aren't able to get up to a place where we're actually even talking about the same thing. Our first offer and then their counter was like black and white. Their commissioner painted a rosier picture, calling it constructive and saying she was really optimistic that we'll get something done that would be transformational. But she kept emphasizing that they need to balance player compensation with team profitability. Here's where players show that they have absolutely zero business sense. They're demanding NBA level revenue sharing from a league that's never made money. But instead of focusing on growing the pie, they're fighting over crumbs. Look at what actually drove the WNBA's success in 2024. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. It wasn't the veteran players who've been there for years. It wasn't the established stars. It was one rookie, Clark, who brought in millions of new fans and viewers. And how did the league and players treat her? They let her get bullied, minimized her impact, secluded her from the Olympic Games, which could have been a huge stream of new eyeballs to the product, and made everything about
bro, that was a huge miss, an astronomical miss. Like, why the hell would you not? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that shit was going on. As soon as I found out Caitlin Clark wasn't gonna be on the fucking Olympic team, I honestly didn't even know when the damn Olympic women's shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Race instead of basketball. Charles Barkley called it out.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair.
Ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. There's been so much negativity, and a lot of it is just petty.
Let them know, Chuck.
What's bad is instead of talking about all the good things happening in the WNBA, we're talking about negativity. Now, here's where they could actually be a reasonable middle ground. What if the league just paid players enough money so they don't have to go overseas? That could be a massive win-win for everyone. The WNBA gets to keep their salaries relatively reasonable, players get enough money to stay in the US full-time, and the league gets to keep their talent here year-round to build the brand. Meanwhile, Clark made $11.1 million in 2024, but only $100,000 came from basketball. The rest was from endorsement. $28 million from Nike over 8 years, deals with Wilson for signature basketball,
that's
and
crazy.
Other sponsors. That's the business model right there. Instead of fighting over revenue from a league that loses money, focus on building individual brands that can command serious endorsement money. But instead, they chose to alienate the one player who proved it was possible. But here's the plot twist I promised you at the very beginning. There's actually a massive opportunity coming that could change everything if the players don't blow it. Starting in 2026, the WNBA's media rights deal jumps from $60 million to $200 million annually through new deals with Disney, NBC,
Okay.
CBS renewals, and it could hit $260 million plus. The $140 to $200 million increase could theoretically turn that $40 million loss into a $100+ million profit overnight. Suddenly, those player demands for hires.
From who again? I seen Amazon, Disney, Amazon, and NBC. Oh yeah, okay. So like, bro, what they're doing right now is suicide, my nigga. Y'all just need to zip it and like cool off to pay us what you owe us shit. Let the league cook, bro. They're cooking. Y'all have 4-month seasons. Let the league do what it's got to do and cook, and then you can start asking for the money, man. Y'all gonna fuck up the bag before it even gets there, man. Like shit.
$100+ million profit overnight. Suddenly, those player demands for higher salaries start to make a little bit more sense. But here's the problem. If no CBA deals reached by October 31st, we're looking at the first work stoppage in WNBA history. The Toronto and Portland expansion plans get disrupted. 80% of players become free agents with nowhere to sign. Multiple All-Stars have mentioned that they're prepared for a lockout. The new rival league, Unrivaled, pays an average of $220,000 for just 10 weeks, showing that players have options. So let me break this down for you. The WNBA is sitting on the biggest opportunity in women's sports history. They have a media deal that can make them profitable for the first time ever. They have a superstar in Caitlin Clark who's proven that she can bring in massive audiences. They have momentum, attention, and public support. And what are they doing? They're fighting over money that doesn't exist instead of working together to capitalize on the money that's coming. The tragedy of the WNBA is this is a league that has tremendous potential and a huge opportunity to explode, but they can't stop getting in their own way. They can't stop shooting themselves in the foot. foot. The players showed their lack of business sense by wearing those pay what you owe us shirts while demanding raises from a league that's never made money. But more importantly, they showed it by treating their biggest draw like garbage instead of protecting and promoting her. Imagine if the NBA in the 1980s had let players beat up Magic Johnson and Larry Bird because they were getting too much attention. Imagine if they told Michael Jordan to apologize for being popular. That's essentially what the WNBA did to Caitlin Clark in 2024. Look, I actually think the WNBA players deserve more money. The salary structure is embarrassing, and with the new TV deal coming, there's a real opportunity for significant raises. But demanding NBA money while treating your biggest star like a punching bag and posting 28 years straight of losses, that's not business sense, that's delusion. The WNBA could learn a lot from how other leagues have grown. Focus on your stars, protect your marketable players, and build the brand before you fight over profits. Instead, they're about to potentially have their first lockout as they're poised for their biggest breakthrough. So let me know in the comment section down below. If you agree with the WNBA player.
Bro, I wonder how much that that little trading card is worth. Look at that.
Poised for their biggest breakthrough. So let me know in the comment section down below.
Sheesh, she putting ink to that shit too. You know, it's worth a couple hundred. Honestly, I'd say probably like a couple, like 50,000 or maybe like 30K or some shit. You'll see it up at some auction place for like 30 to 50K.
So, do you agree with the WNBA players? Should they be getting paid more money? Or do you think this is just another case of WNBA players that have no idea how business works? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Honestly, man, W-Flight Mike, WVid. I honestly feel like they should get paid more, bro. They should get paid a little bit more percentage, but Mike is right, man. They're going about it literally the worst way possible. Like, if you could go about a certain situation, they're going the absolute, like, if you can go about something in the worst way possible, that's what the WNBA is doing. They're doing this shit ass backwards. One, you're asking a league to pay you money that doesn't have any fucking money, and then they're just bullying the shit out of Caitlin Clark, who is bringing you guys the most revenue, most views, all that shit. How much is a Caitlin Clark shirt? Oh shit, it's kind of tough. I like the red one. Yeah, I probably won't buy a jersey, but I'll definitely cop one of these, 100%. Nah, that's crazy. WVid though. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what y'all think about the W and this whole situation with the fucking CBA, Caitlin Clark.